In the innocent world of toys and cartoons, few things are as sad as Sheriff Woody's empty holster. When I first saw Toy Story 1, I liked it a lot like most people, but I thought it was just pathetic that a cowboy and to that a sheriff had an empty holster. Because someone in the not so innocent world of adults decided that giving a toy cartoon cowboy a gun was just too controversial. Guys, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist. And why am I talking about toys, cartoons, and Toy Story in a survival channel? It's because it matters. It's because it's important. It's part of our kids' education. And it's from an early age where we have to compensate for this politically correct nonsense that we see these days. If your kid is not used to playing if your kid is used to playing with politically correct toys, there's a good chance he'll be politically correct himself. Yeah, and it's not just about that, it's the entire package, but it is a small part of it as well. And you know, if they're used to playing with toys that are supposed to have guns but they don't have them for some politically correct twisted reason, then they're gonna be detached from that. They're gonna be surprised and it's gonna be awkward for them later on. Same with toys that are like police officers, police officers that don't have guns. If you look at some of the Lego toys these days, the Lego police officers, they don't have guns anymore. They just run around. If you look at the boxes, they run after the bad guys with handcuffs alone. That's just sad. It's so twisted, and you know how politics get into the toys our kids play with. It's ridiculous. But at least this cowboy is packing heat. Yeah, and it was actually my wife that told me to do that. I think she was house cleaning and she came to me and she said, you know, I'm sick and tired of walking past that cowboy with an empty holster. Could you please do a little gun for it? And you know, I love her for that, for those little things that she's not even like a gun nut like I could be considered, but she just has a low bullshit tolerance like I do. So I did my best. This is like it's like a single action, like a Colt single action revolver, like what I suppose a guy like Woody would be packing. And I try to do it like as if it had like ivory grips. And yeah, I don't know, it's not very good or anything. It's just painted and such, like porcelain, but it does fit in there rather well and does look pretty cool. So yeah, this Woody at least is packing heat. And you know what? This was actually my oldest son toy. And he would later ask me, why is it that in the cartoon he hasn't got his gun? And I explained, oh, he may have lost it or something like that. And as he grew older, I kind of explained to him, you know, he's not too old, but he's old enough to understand a little bit of why is it. I explained to him why is it that some company like Disney decided that it wasn't okay to give a cowboy a gun. And he kind of understood it, and I'm sure that as he grows older, he's going to be understanding it even better. But it's that little seed that you're planting in your kid's mind that's going to be making the difference between them and another kid. If you're expecting a public school or even a private school to do that for you, you will be disappointed. The independent thinking, the free thinker mindset that you want to implant in your kid's head, you have to do that yourself. Schools these days are more about building people like pieces of machinery so as to fit in a bigger machine that it's a society. It's not about creating individuals. That's coming from home. That's coming from the upbringing that you, the parent, gives your kid. And if that's not important, I don't know what is. It is one of the most important things that a parent could pass along to their kids. And it's an essential part of being self-reliant, being independent, the ability of, you know, knowing the difference between what is it that others want you to do. I'm not like much of a conspiracy theory kind of guy. I leave that to those that know more about it. I don't know if it's just politically correct, or guns are controversial in toys, or if it's social engineering to a point. If it is, I just don't want any part of it. I like my kids. I'm not obsessed over my kids playing with toys with guns, but if they want to play with toy guns, they're more than welcome to that. I'll happily buy them for them. And if they're playing with toy police officers, I'm not going to be buying the Lego police officer that runs around with handcuffs. I'm going to be buying one that comes with guns like a normal police officer would have, or a normal criminal would have even. So, you know, I was recently my youngest son's birthday, and I ended up with these Playmobil. You know, instead of buying a Lego, doing my little part, giving my kid toys that are normal and not sanitized by some corporate CEO trying to be politically correct and get more support, or God knows what. And you know, this is actually pretty cool. He really likes this toy. He's playing with it like crazy, and he likes the mummy with all the little treasure and stuff. It's actually pretty excellent. And you're doing your part. You're both giving your kids normal toys. You're supporting a company that is not buying into all that BS. The cop has a gun. It actually has a holster, and the little gun actually clicks into place like a real gun in a real Kydex holster, so that's pretty cool. The criminal has a rifle. I also got him this one. Again, police officer with a gun, criminal with a gun, handcuffs as well. But yeah, even here, you know, this is pretty interesting. They styled it like a black powder revolver, like a Walker or something like that for some reason. Then there's, yes, a semi-automatic, and the cop has in his bike, you know, that there's a shotgun back there, and it has a flashlight mounted, like a big mag light, and a scope. So yeah, guys, it's just a topic that I wanted to mention, and I don't know, just with thinking about it. Be self-reliant, be an independent thinker, and don't let this politically correct agenda affect you or your kids. Be a free thinker. Have a great day. Take care. See you on our next video.